Welcome to the channel. Today, we're exploring A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles, a brilliant historical novel about Count Alexander Rostov, a Russian aristocrat sentenced to house arrest in a grand Moscow hotel during the early days of the Soviet Union. Though confined, Rostov experiences a rich, fulfilling life within the metropole, forming deep relationships and observing the world's changes from his isolated vantage point. Stay tuned for a detailed breakdown of this captivating story. Plot overview. The novel begins in 1922 when Count Alexander Rostov, a former aristocrat, is sentenced to lifelong house arrest at the Hotel Metropole by a Bolshevik tribunal. His crime? Writing a revolutionary poem and symbolizing the old-world aristocracy, which the new Soviet regime seeks to erase. The Count moves from his luxurious suite to a small attic room, but despite the dramatic change in his living conditions, he retains his grace and dignity. His confinement sets the stage for a journey of adaptation and resilience over the next 3 decades. Life in the Hotel Metropole. The Hotel Metropole becomes the Count's entire world. Though isolated from the outside, the hotel is a bustling place filled with diplomats, politicians, and ordinary guests. It is a microcosm of Russian society, mirroring the political and social transformations happening outside its walls. Within the hotel, Rostov builds lasting friendships with the staff, including Andrei, the maitre d', and Emil, the chef. These friendships form a close-knit family, bound by shared experiences and the daily operations of the hotel's restaurant. Key relationships. One of the Count's most important early connections is with Nina, a young girl living in the hotel with her father. With her curiosity and resourcefulness, Nina shows the Count the hidden corners and secret passages of the hotel. Their friendship allows the Count to view the metropole not as a prison but as a place of discovery and adventure. Nina's presence brings youthful energy into his otherwise static existence, reminding him that even within confinement, there are ways to experience joy and novelty. Years later, Nina, now an adult facing political persecution, returns to the hotel and leaves her daughter Sophia in the Count's care. Taking responsibility for Sophia transforms the Count's life. He becomes a surrogate father, providing her with the love, protection, and guidance she needs. Sophia's growth, particularly her development as a pianist, gives the Count new purpose and deepens the emotional stakes of his story. Adapting to a changing world, the novel spans the years between 1922 and the mid-1950s, covering key events in Russian history, including Stalin's purges, World War II, and the early Cold War era. While the Count is physically confined to the hotel, he observes these changes through the guests who come and go, particularly government officials and foreign diplomats. Despite his isolation, the Count remains intellectually engaged with the world, reflecting on the political upheavals and adapting to his new reality. His relationship with Anna Urbanova, a glamorous actress, offers a brief romantic escape from the hardships of life in Soviet Russia. Their affair, marked by moments of levity and tenderness, underscores the fleeting nature of human connection in a time of upheaval. Anna is a reminder of the world outside and the lives people live beyond the hotel's walls. Themes of resilience and adaptation. Resilience is central to Count Rostov's character. Despite the loss of his aristocratic privileges, he never loses his sense of self or dignity. The Count adjusts to his confined life by creating meaningful relationships, finding joy in the small details of daily life, and becoming deeply involved in the running of the hotel's restaurant. His adaptability demonstrates that it is possible to live a rich and fulfilling life, even under the most restrictive circumstances. The novel also explores the theme of time. As the years pass, the world outside the hotel transforms, yet within the metropole, the Count maintains a sense of constancy through rituals and routines. This contrast between the rapidly changing political landscape and the stability of the hotel reflects the tension between old-world traditions and the new Soviet reality. Sophia's escape and the climax. The story builds toward its climax as Sophia, now a talented pianist, is offered a chance to perform in Paris. This opportunity represents her chance for freedom from the oppressive Soviet regime. To help Sophia escape, the Count devises an elaborate plan, one that involves great personal risk and careful manipulation of the Soviet authorities. The final chapters are filled with tension as the Count takes bold steps to ensure Sophia's future, underscoring his deep love and sense of responsibility toward her. The novel's climax highlights the Count's transformation from a passive observer to an active participant in shaping Sophia's future. His ultimate sacrifice in orchestrating her escape symbolizes his own form of liberation, as he finds a way to protect the people he loves despite the constraints placed upon him. The ending. The novel ends on a note of ambiguity, as the Count's fate is left uncertain. After successfully ensuring Sophia's departure from the Soviet Union, the Count disappears from the metropole, possibly reuniting with Anna. Towles leaves this conclusion open-ended, allowing readers to interpret whether the Count finds freedom at last or continues to live a life defined by restraint. Reflections on Legacy. A Gentleman in Moscow is a meditation on time, change, and identity. Despite his confinement, Count Rostov's life is filled with meaning, largely due to the relationships he forms and the roles he plays within the hotel. His ability to maintain his sense of dignity, grace, and humor in the face of adversity is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Towles' elegant prose and keen observations about Russian history, combined with the personal narrative of Count Rostov's life, make this novel a profound reflection on resilience. The Count's journey reminds us that even within the smallest confines, we can find ways to make life rich with purpose and connection. That's it for our deep dive into A Gentleman in Moscow. This novel is a beautiful exploration of how one man adapts to life's changes and finds meaning in unexpected places. If you love this recap and want more in-depth book discussions, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Count Rostov's journey and whether you think he truly found freedom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.